Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Caitlin Clark, stalker, sentenced to 2.5 years behind bars. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Brief recap for those of you that did not know or don't remember. Caitlin Clark had this wacko that they found a lot of stuff on X on Twitter, and he actually went up from, I believe, Texas up to Indiana, and he was caught. They were aware of him. Caitlin had behind the scenes, the way it should be done by adults, contacted authorities when it seemed to be a little out of hand. They arrested him. I believe he's been sitting in jail all this time. I don't know if it was denied bail or that he didn't have the money. I don't remember, but he pled guilty. I believe he got a deal as well, though, which is why he only has 2.5 years sentenced to prison for stalking Caitlin Clark. This is a guy from Texas. More than 18 months. I thought it said, wait a minute, didn't we say 2.5 years? 2.5 years. That's 30 months. I'm so confused. I was gonna say maybe time served, but I don't think he's been sitting in a jail for a year. Anyway, we'll see. There you go. That's the problem sometimes with even me reporting as accurately as I can to all of you, is the information I find is sometimes conflicting. But anyway, here we go. Michael Lewis. It's a shame with that name because Michael Lewis was a great safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not the same one. And that was, yeah, it was January. So that was only 6 months ago. He repeatedly sent threats and sexually violent messages and so forth to Clark via social media, went up to Indiana. I can't remember if he went to a game or he talked about going to the game. But this guy's nuts. Here was Lewis, who prophesized during Monday's courtrooms. I shouldn't laugh, but it's just sometimes you got to make light of serious stuff. That the end of the world was coming. Also, was recommended to get mental health treatment. Really, mental health treatment. You don't say. You can't help yourself until you get help, the judge told Lewis. Indianapolis Metro Police Department first spoke to Lewis on January 8th about his alleged messages to the 23-year-old Clark. But I think this is one I talked about at the time. Been driving around your house 3 times a day, messaged Clark. But don't call the law just yet. The public is allowed to drive by Gamebridge, a.k.a. Caitlin's field house. I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench, was another message. They said I was sending threatening texts, but the only thought on my mind was Caitlin. This is absolutely nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Now, what I also want to bring up, because I think this is important, and this is why the title says what it says, and I talk about the WNBA and the media, because as many of you know, we have heard time and time and time again about all of the hate and all of the stuff directed at Angel Reese and how awful Caitlin Clark fans are. So I was hoping you and I could take a little trip down memory lane together, a nice little stroll, relax, find some things out, or maybe some things we may have forgotten that they don't want to talk about in the moment. Um, and we had this. This is, I think, was when she was still in college.
I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
Okay, we don't have to go through the whole thing because the key right there was the unaliving threats, and she's got the waterworks. And I know some people say, "Oh, you're so mean." No, if this was in and of itself Angel Reese and this stuff was true, I would have a lot of sympathy for anyone. However, we all know that Angel Reese, because she said it multiple times, how happy she is to play the villain, and she very much has played that up. But then when she gets pushback, which of course is normal and inevitable, she then plays the victim, and the waterworks come out, and we talk about the threats and on and on. If you all may recall, the very first game when the Indiana Fever put BTA to the Chicago Sky, and we realized what kind of season it was going to be for Chicago. What we were hoping for the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark had a triple-double in that first game, and then, of course, things went downhill from there with the injuries, but it was looking good. But we couldn't have that. The league could not have that type of embarrassment of the Chicago Sky and the anointed one, Angel Reese.
Talk about an investigation with your team is investigation. Yeah, I think we agree. I think we're in compliance with them, with the league, and obviously there's no room or space in our game for hate. So we're complying with everything that's been going on.
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that it's something that we heard about, and so again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation-wise.
And just a quick
So again, he was not aware of it. I love the question. When did you become aware of the hate speech? Yeah, you know what? Here's my position. I know some of you are going to disagree and don't like it. No such thing. There's speech and there's censorship. And hate speech is a way to censor the opinions that you do not like. Okay? 20 years ago, there was no such thing. It is a recently made up phrase. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic, because we also had this from Angel Reese on the same situation.
Obviously, there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA and our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
How did it affect you Saturday, trying to do your job, trying to play, and having this going on simultaneously?
Yeah, obviously it's tough, but I think I have a great support system. I'm loved by so many people, and obviously in the moment it's hard to hear, but my support system is great. God has protected me in so many different ways. I've gone through so many different things in the past couple of years of my life, but I think just having this support and this love and being a part of an organization that really supports me and loves me is something that I couldn't imagine not being a part of.
What do you think
And there you go, folks. If you're wondering why, again, exactly, I don't have sympathy for Angel Reese when she turns on the waterworks and talks about these things. There you have it. Because all of you know, the league knew. We all knew at the time, but we absolutely know, because I promise you, the league would have loved more than anything in the world to have found evidence of people yelling slurs at Angel Reese during that Indiana Fever Chicago Sky game. And you heard her right here absolutely lie to everyone about it, because she was given specific questions about how it affected you in the moment, and she's talking about how tough it was and all this, but we know it never happened. She is flat out lying. This is the work of a narcissistic sociopath. I am not going to feel bad because she's 23 years old when she's lying about something like that could destroy people's lives. Are you kidding me with this? This is absolutely insane. But of course, we have one more that we have to talk about that's really important in context, and we're going to pull it back full circle to Caitlin Clark.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. So how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful.
Can I just come out? I'm sorry, this time I'm going to be a little petty, but I just love when people who aren't that bright try and sound bright. And so we're throwing in, I respect that respectfully. Like, what is you respect that respectfully, but then it's disrespect? Like, what are you saying? Are you trying to use more than words that have more than 2 syllables because you think it makes you sound intelligent? Come on now, let's stop that.
I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like, I'm talking about people have come down to my address, following me home. Like, it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked. Literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram? It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that, and now seeing other players even having to go through that. But like, at the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate.
So again, she directed it to all of the problems are Caitlin Clark's fans. It's the Indiana fans. It's the Iowa fans. It could never, ever be Angel Reese or Angel Reese's fans. The AI pictures, again, is a way to garner sympathy, because anyone who's been on the internet ever will tell you almost every celebrity out there has fake nude pictures of them, because long before AI, there was Photoshop, and there were talented people who could use Photoshop, and they were putting celebrity heads on other bodies and putting them out there, to the point There was even a joke in, oh, which one? I think was it the second Scream where Gail, who's played by, ah, you know what I'm saying? She played Monica Geller and Jennifer Aniston, and she made a joke about nude pictures being on the internet. She said, "No, it's only my head. It's Jennifer Aniston's body." Y'all remember that, right? So it's like that was when did Scream 2 come out? That was like the 90s, right? So that type of stuff's been going on for a long, long, long time. And then she goes into the threats, the unaliving threats. People followed her home, she said. Why is it? And this is why I'm going to go full circle back to this. If anything Angel Reese said is true, why is there zero proof? Zero proof of any of it. If people are following her home, she knows that. And apparently she knows it well enough, was involved well enough to know that they were specifically Caitlin Clark's fans that were doing it. Why do we have zero record of it? Why is there not a police, at the very least, even if they did an investigation, was like, there's nothing here, we can't arrest this person. Why is there not, at the very least, a police report? I'm telling there are more fake accusations nowadays than real ones. It is absolutely wild, and there is zero pushback on this type of stuff. And it's the type of stuff that ruins people's lives. Angel Reese does nothing but manipulate the media, who she knows is on her side, so she can get out her narrative. The only person that we know that has actually done this and been arrested is someone stalking Caitlin Clark, not going after Angel Reese, not following Angel Reese home. And by the way, it's not. I'm like obviously Caitlin Clark. This isn't the only one this has happened to. I think there was one in, what was it, Oregon or something. I think she was she still in college when Paige Beckers, there was a situation as well, and I think someone was arrested. I can't remember if it was actually followed through where there was enough that they were tried and went to jail, but there was definitely someone arrested. But I just wanted to compare and contrast, because if you were talking about the media, we know about all this stuff with Angel Reese, right? The Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game and that investigation was huge news everywhere. You couldn't get away from it. Who has talked about this? The league and like ESPN and sports media, who has talked about what Caitlin Clark went through? Who, by the way, just quietly behind the scenes got the police involved and has never talked about it. Whereas Angel Reese cannot shut up about getting in front of a camera and talking about all these awful things that have supposedly happened. And look, it's the internet. I get it. I get some of the absolutely insane, nasty stuff. So I get a bunch of idiot losers are going to send awful things that get said. I get that. There are levels to this, as they like to say. Okay. But the league has never come out in support of Caitlin Clark. The league has never come out and said, hey, we have resources available for her if she needs them. We, a show of support. How about the Players Association, right? They went after Christine Brennan, tried to get her fired for simply asking a normal question from a journalist of Dejanay the Mustard Carrington. That got an entire ridiculously absurd fifth grade level chat GPT statement by the Players Association. But this gets nothing. There is nothing. No one in the WNBA has come out and shown any sympathy for Caitlin Clark, shown any empathy for Caitlin Clark, shown any support at all for Caitlin Clark and what she went through with this. But Angel Reese gets it all the time, and nothing has actually happened. Absolutely wild. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on all this nonsense in the comments below. Appreciate you being here as always. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.